Hello everyone and welcome to a tutorial on how to make your own watch face using the Gear Watch Designer app IDE made by Samsung. I'll provide the link to download the IDE in the description. And okay, so once you've installed it, it'll be available to you in the shortcut menu. You can just open it up. It'll take a while to load. Okay, so once it's loaded, it'll immediately give you a pop-up on whether you want to create a sample, like the sample watch faces that are available, if you want to modify them or upload them to your watch. Now you have the recents and you have the new. So for this tutorial we'll select GearFit 2 and we'll name this project Deadpool and click OK. So start off by importing a background. So if you want, you can import, you get an option of the basic backgrounds here. Or you could import a custom background, uh, which you can import. Okay, now once you've got your background, you'll visually get all its properties over here. This is your resource preview. So when you select something, say this, I can get a preview of. Okay, so now once you've adjusted the background and you have it how you want, uh, go right here and click on digital clock. You'll immediately get a default format showing the hour, minute, and seconds. This is the 24-hour format. So this is sort of the code for the only code you need to remember. So here, this is the default. Then this is the 12-hour format, which will give you the hour, minute, and the A over here stands for the AM PM. Now, if you want to see, I want a reference of these, just click here and select more. You'll have a full reference opened up here. So for the sake of this tutorial, we'll just stick to this. Now, if you want to change the color of uh, the text, you can select here color, because obviously it's Deadpool, so I'll choose red. And you can adjust the opacity, you can adjust the size. Over here you can select the font, the default font that's available. These are all the default fonts. So in sync to device, the uh, font that is selected in the device will appear. You can choose your own custom bitmap fonts, or you could choose a true type font. So here are the languages. So you obviously you'll put that sync to device because, well, it'll be set in your language. Then the time zone, again, sync with the device. Otherwise you have an option of manually selecting which time zone you want to follow. If you want to show a world clock, you can keep an angle for rotation. Right now I'll keep this at 0 because it looks ugly like that. Okay, so other than that, you can add things like say the day, which I forgot how to. Okay, so here, now if you want the text instead of a number for the month, just put 3Ms and you're set. Now, since this does not fit inside the screen, I'll just reduce the size, and there we go. So the GearWatch Designer offers many tools which you could use. So under content, this is an index for the analog, which I'll be showing in the later tutorials. Uh, Here you can import your animation, and remember that this is the animation will be set at 15 FPS by default, and you can only use PNG images. No other images will work. So then at the bottom you have a complication. So here you can import heart rate, two different types of heart rate, then your caffeine intake, water, and your steps, speed, analog, like the analog battery and digital battery, and then the different time complications which are available. So for this we'll take a heart rate and a steps counter. So okay, so now the heart rate is set up, and since this is an image, it does not work. As you can see, you cannot adjust it like, say, a text, which I can just easily go here and just change the color to red. So for this image, I'll have to click here, increase the saturation, and there we go. I have it red. I got it in red. Same with this. Okay, next is the steps. So workout and steps digital. Okay, now that I have this where I want it, I'll just again adjust the color and change this to red. Considering that this IDE is still in its beta, it does not have everything you need, but it is quite handy and much more effective compared to doing this whole thing yourself. The downside though of this is that you still have to adjust the colors manually, so you can't just put a dropper. And that even all these complications appear as separate uh, items in the timeline. Okay, so once this is set up, I forgot to change this. Okay, so you have it. Here is your Deadpool Watchface. One more thing, if you want the battery percentage, you can create add text here, and you can choose like if you want the battery percent value, if you want the status of the battery, if it's being charged or not, if you want the battery level, if you want speed, steps, various things. I don't want to get into it right now. Okay, so this is set up. Let's just reduce the size right there. Make sure it doesn't collide with the image. Okay. Now one last thing before you can put this on your watch is that you'll need a certificate from Samsung. This is easy to get. You just go to Project, Author Certificate, and you can generate a certificate by following the steps. Similarly, for Distributor Certificate, you need to get one more for that. So before you run this on your device, you can check it out by running it on the inbuilt emulator. Here you can adjust the time to check out how it works with different time zones. You can adjust the year from 1970 all the way to 2038. I don't even know why I need that. Then you can adjust the month, day. Unfortunately, they don't have one for the heart rate and the steps yet, but hopefully they'll get that soon. So here's the battery at the top. So charging on and off right now, we haven't put anything for that. And this, oh shit. Okay, sorry. Yeah, and these features are only available for the Gear S. So right now, since I'm using the Gear Fit 2, I won't go into that. Okay, one more thing before I try to run this on my device. This is the timeline in which all your items are placed according to the layers. So you can either choose not to view them or view them. Here you can lock them in their place or unlock them. Once you lock an item in its place, you can't edit that item, you can't select it, and over here you can add a new timeline based on the time or the battery percentage or the steps. So one of the main advantages of being able to create your own timelines is when you do this, then you can like choose whether you want to display a certain field or not. So I can select this and say when the battery is like at 5%, activate this field, and here hide. So that way text 2, whatever that is, text is. Okay, right now I need to select all these and hide. Okay, so say when the battery is, oh, it's this one. Okay, so when the battery is above 5%, this will show me the text here, and if it's below, it'll just hide it. So right now I don't need this here, I need it somewhere else, so I'll just delete this. Yes, activate. Okay, I don't need that anymore. Yes, so now let's go to the device. So here we can build. This is to upload to the store, and this is aligned to the center. So you select an object, say this, and I put it here. I can align this exactly to the center of the watch face, and then just bring it down using the arrow keys. Here I can align to the top, I can align to the bottom, I can align it to the middle, in that sense, and here similarly left, right, center. Here I can align these items in the layers, top, up, top, distribute vertical, distribute bottom, left, right. Here I can space them out. This I can bring these items to the front or the back of the layers. So once you have everything you need, just build your project. You have to type in your password, and so you have a package ID. So sometimes when you want to say upload it onto the Samsung store, at that time this ID is very important. You have to make sure that it does not clash with anyone else's ID, otherwise it will not allow you to update to release the watch face. So you can name it whatever you want. Here I have named it Deadpool Tutorial because that's the project name by default. It'll be stored in a particular location. Your package, this is the version, your password for your certificate. This is the security level. High security and moderate is for the not yet updated gears, and this is for the updated. So this is the label. So when you're on your watch, you when you're on your watch and you want to select shift through watch faces, on the top of the watch faces, this is what will be shown. So build. So now if you want to install this watch face directly onto your watch, smartwatch, without releasing it onto the store, you can simply click on this, run on device. So you have to give it access. So one thing you should remember is, if you want to do this, then you have to go to your watch settings, and from there go to connections, Wi-Fi, switch it on, and go back. You have to go to debugging in about this device, and switch that on so that you can install the watch faces. So connect. Here you can connect. You go back to the Wi-Fi in under settings in your watch, and click on the current Wi-Fi that you are connected to. Make sure your laptop is connected to the same Wi-Fi, and then you will get an IP address at the bottom. Copy the IP address and write it down here. So here I think this is right. Okay, it doesn't say any device connected. Okay, so once you make sure that your watch is on the same Wi-Fi as your PC, uh, just enter the IP address, connect, and your watch should appear on this area. For some reason, it's not working right now. I'll have to check that out. So your watch should appear in this area, and once you click on it, it will automatically build the project and ask you to upload it. Once it's uploaded, it'll show the watch in debug mode. Just press the home button, you'll get out of that, and you can manually select and go to that watch face. Okay, so this is the basics on how to make a Deadpool watch face using the GearWatch Designer. And even though this is a very basic IDE right now, considering it's still in its beta, it has a lot of bugs, but it's way better than actually writing your own code and making the whole thing from scratch. Okay, so in the next tutorial, I will be uh, going more into the watch hands and the index, and talk about maybe I'll give an introduction on the Gear S3. Maybe I'll give an introduction on the Gear S3